This is a fairness cream. It makes you whiter, and a lot of Indians and Pakistanis absolutely love this invention. Who doesn't want to be fair? If you're fairer in India, you'll get a lot more attention. Especially if you're a girl in India and you're fairer, you'll get a lot more attention. Like, seriously, a lot more girls will like you. And when you think about this, that itself is the biggest problem. What if I told you these fairness creams exist because of them? And yes, I am hinting towards the British being racists. But no, that's not all. The West still rules us. Our economy, our choices, the food we eat, the music we listen to, who we choose to make love with, who we choose to hang out with, all of it is chosen by America and Britain. And well, it's more complicated than just this. Let me explain. Now this is the Constitution of India. It's inspired from various countries around the world, including obviously Britain and America, but also Ireland and France. Now this is not a problem. It's a good thing, actually. We're taking inspiration from the West. We're taking their good things and making our society better, if that makes sense. But the problem is, and the problem arrives, when we don't know what to take inspiration from. There are ideals which make a society more liberal, equal, and democratic, and there are ideals which make our society racists. Now the question is, are we choosing to let in the right kind of ideals in our society? If yes, if you really are a proud Indian, why is it that 18 million people of Indian origin live abroad? And yes, I already know your answer, and it's that India isn't America. This is Bihar, and well, this is San Francisco. No comparison, none at all. And I agree. And hence, Indian parents want their kids to study abroad. Now, because of the shift of labor, Indians become CEOs of big multinational companies around the world. The proof of that is, how often have you heard your relatives say, every big company has an Indian CEO, proud moment, beta. Well, the next time you hear someone say this, make them sit on a chair, give them a glass of cold water, and tell them that they need therapy. After that, when you're done with them, go look at the mirror. Tell yourself that you too need therapy. As a matter of fact, this huge, vast country that we live in is by and large insecure, and we as a society need therapy. We think that the British, who ruled over us for a couple hundred years, strategized famines and executions, which killed millions by the way, were intellectually superior than us. We don't accept this directly, but we subconsciously think this way. We think that they are stronger than us, and of course, prettier than us. Tell me, how many uncles have you heard saying, oh, the Britishers, they should have stayed, they ruled us better than what we're doing. This feeling is part of a subject called death psychology, where people, instead of condemning the British Raj, are grateful for the British Raj because they think that it civilized them, made them a better society. It is very clear that we, even till today, believe that white skin is superior, and 74% of you agree with this fact, by the way. And yes, let me give you a toxic dating advice, which would actually work in India. So it goes like this. All Indians want fair partners. If you're a guy, you want to date a fair girl. If you're a girl, you want to date a fair guy. Fair enough, it's an observation, you might see it around you. But if you're a girl, you are more likely to be expected to be fairer in order to be pretty. However, guys are more insecure about their color. So girls, next time you see a guy and you want him to chase you, just maybe tell him that he's dark skinned and his insecurities would make him chase you. No, don't actually, because what if one of you ends up manipulating me? That'd be a bad call. Anyway. So you see, all of this is just hypocrisy, and it doesn't end here. Another example is that successful Indian Americans are way more celebrated than successful Indians. And the reason is because when we see a Sundar Pichai becoming Google's CEO, what you see and what we see is a person of Indian origin, not an Indian citizen, I repeat, just a person of Indian origin competing amongst everyone else in the world, who eventually goes on to become successful. And then we say that an Indian person became successful, and well, for all you know, that Indian person maybe went on by himself and got himself an American citizenship. It's like we doubt that Indians too can be the best in the world. We're insecure about our own capabilities. And well, I, as a kid, used to wonder that were the British better than us? They ruled over us after all. They probably were stronger and smarter than us. And when I grew up, I realized that only a child can think like that. Because let's look at the context of things. By the time the British came to power in the Indian subcontinent, India wasn't as unified as it is today. India was split into many kingdoms, and acquiring more kingdoms was easier than ever. Make rulers fight against each other. When both of them become weak, you take over. And the British used this to their advantage. The British conquered India not because they were smarter or stronger, but because they were lucky and inhumane. As a matter of fact, the first instances of intense Hindu-Muslim conflicts which happened in the modern day India was started by the divide and rule policy. And look, with that being said, I don't want you to come at me with अरे तुम भी तो इंग्लिश बोल रहे हो, अगर अंग्रेजों से इतनी नफरत है तो इंग्लिश बोलना छोड़ दो. My purpose of making this video was not to rant about how we've forgotten our culture or something like that. It was merely to be aware, to know how the British in particular have scarred us psychologically and how we run to the West for them to validate India. Our movies, our culture. We seem to like our culture only when they like our culture. And we need to be aware of that to begin with. Aware of how companies extract money out of us by selling fairness schemes. Aware of how foreigners visiting India get views only because they're from the West. And how American Indians work for America and not India because a lot of times you're being fooled. English is merely a language. You can speak in Hindi all day but still believe a fairer skin is better. You might speak in Hindi all day but also force it on others. Financial systems capitalize on this insecurity of ours and make money over us. No, seriously, let me explain it to you even further. If I want to be a millionaire in 2025, I'd open a fashion and apparel brand. Give it a classy American or an European name like Casa Valentina, for example. Give it a nice classy font on its logo and put it on an old money color polo. There you go. A luxury fashion polo. This is not my idea, by the way. All of these brands on the screen, surprise, surprise, are Indian. Because when a brand with an Indian name sells something Indian, you wouldn't buy it, would you? And that's why they had to do this. Whatever makes them money, right? That's just behavioral economics. You can't blame them directly. They're just doing their job. Whatever makes them more money. The problem is, we as Indians cannot imagine luxury with Indian names. Unless and until it's about jewelry, maybe, because that's been around for quite a while in our history. But on an overall spectrum, luxury isn't an Indian forte. But with time, India is changing. These fairness cream brands are renaming their products. Indians are raising a voice against racism by its own people. And slowly but surely, we'll win this battle. We, the people of India, refuse to be manipulated. And if you actually believe in that, step number 1 is that if you like this video, share it with your friends. Subscribe this channel, and for the next time when someone wants you to have a fair skin, tell them their brain's whitewashed. Quite literally.